Hello, this is N4NT, Adam, the Bristol Amateur Radio Club president, and welcome to the audio edition of the Bristol Amateur Radio Club QRM official newsletter for September 2020. As usual, we have the club logo and ARRL logo at the top of the page. Anytime you have a logo at the top of the page, I'll just remind you that you can click on that logo, and typically it will take you to some type of website. That's anywhere on the newsletter that you have a logo, I typically try to link that to its respective website. Here under general announcements, we have our next meeting September the 3rd, 2020 at 7 p.m. And we're still dealing with COVID-19 issues, and of course the hospital being a particular hotspot for that type of stuff. It seemed like we had a good meeting last month using the online meeting program and integrating the repeater in with it. We were able to keep everybody abreast of what was going on for the meeting. So we'll do that again this month. In order to join the meeting, just click on the link. Anything that you see in blue and underlined typically links to something in the newsletter as well. Just click on that link and it'll take you to the meeting room, and there'll be another box that'll pop up just to click on, and then you can go in there. Camera use, I did discover that's strictly optional. I think as long as you've got a microphone, if you don't have a camera connected to your device, then you should still be able to access it and just do audio only. Even if you do have a camera, you can shut that off if you want to. You don't have to be on camera the whole time. A few folks elected to do that. There's also a dial-in option. You can call this phone number right here, put in this PIN number, and you can join the meeting that way. We didn't have anybody come in that way last time, but that is an option. I think most of us have a smartphone or computer, especially being in the hobby that we're in. We use computers quite a bit, and it's just as simple. You don't have to download anything or anything like that. You just click on the link and go. If you do it on a smartphone, you can still go to your web browser, click on the link and go, or you can download their app, and it makes it a little bit easier. I ended up doing that, just taking a test run with it, and it made that a little bit easier. I haven't heard anything from Bristol Regional as far as when they think we might be able to meet again. As close as we are getting, I plan on getting in contact with Food City just to make sure we're still a go for the meeting there, and we will most likely go ahead and go with that. Probably need to kind of pool everybody to see what kind of interest we have, because we do have a certain minimum that we have to meet in food in order to cover the usage of the room, and I think that's only like $150. So we just need to make sure we at least have that much interest to make sure that we're still a go. I realize there's people that may not want to come to a face-to-face meeting, even if that's possible due to risk and exposure, and I understand that. So we will either try to bring everybody in using the online program for any kind of presentations that we do. We don't do any type of official business at that meeting anyway, so unless the club indicates something different, I think we would be okay to go ahead and pursue trying to have that meeting if we can, and just those that can come to it, those that can't don't. All right, so a little bit of bonus information that you won't get from just reading the newsletter there, I guess. Don't forget about our weekly club net at 9 o'clock on the 146.67 repeater. Check-ins have been down a little bit lately, but that's understandable because of the time of year it is, and it still being somewhat daylight by the time that starts. But maybe I expect we'll probably pick up a few as the cooler weather and the getting darker earlier type thing sets in. That's sort of the norm. But Chris Brooks, K4XMN, is our net controller. And then we have the weekly Fusion net, Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion net. We've been getting quite a few check-ins from quite a few areas. We do a topic for that net, and that seems to generate a lot of good information. We also feature a town of the net at some point that's within the region on this map right here. And I actually didn't do that last week and had some feedback from some folks that said they really kind of missed it. So was just testing out there to see what kind of interest there is. We do YouTube stuff with this net as well as the 2 meter net. Try to broadcast live whenever possible, and you can always go back on YouTube and listen to those recordings and stuff. And I think I have those with very few misses for both nets. Well, the 2 meter net in particular, all the way back to 2018. We just started this one in 2019. You can click on this link and get the download the NetLogger program for free. Or if you don't want to download a program and you just want to follow the nets as they go, you can go to this link right here, On Air Net Scraper, k3clr.com. Just click on that link, and you can either type in a net name or you can scroll down here and you can find an active net, and you'll see like Bristol 2 meter net or Tri-Cities Mountain Empire net. And all you have to do is, and we'll just click on one. I know this one's pretty active. Click on that net link, and you can see all the check-ins. On the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire net, we have one check-in pass off to the other, so that comes in pretty handy for you to be able to monitor the net. And the cool thing about that is you do not have to download anything. It's a website, and all you have to do is visit the website and look. So that means you can get on your smartphone web browser. That's something you can't do with NetLogger. NetLogger, you can only use it on a computer, and I think it even has to be Windows based if I'm not mistaken. Well, this thing, you can access it from anything that can get on the internet. So if you're out and about or something, you want to monitor the net, go to this website right here, and it's free and easy to use. And normally what we do during the Fusion net, just to help keep from kicking folks on the 6.7 repeater back and forth out of analog and digital mode, if you have your radio and AMS, I just go over onto the repeater control frequency and I switch it into digital only, and it'll transmit a CW tone for D twice for digital, and when the net's over I switch it back to automatic, and you'll hear the CW for A transmit twice when we do that. So if you're hearing that, if you're not into the digital side of things and you're hearing that over on analog, that's what's going on. Of course, we have the reminder of the club dues, $15 per year plus $7.50 for family members. And just a quick reminder, and I did this with my son. He's not a ham yet. He wants to be one day, but you can sign up family members that are not licensed amateurs as like an associate member. They're a member of the club just without voting privileges, but that helps the club out, and that makes them like with my son, he's 10. It makes him feel a part of things. I hate that the COVID stuff happened when it did at the such a peak of his interest, because I was actually getting ready to start bringing him to the club meetings with me, but he did sit in on the last video club meeting, but I'm really missing the club programs, and I think that would benefit folks like him quite extensively. So I'm hoping we can get something going sooner rather than later. And same thing for our test sessions. We're kind of missing out on those because of not having a place to meet and that kind of thing. If anybody knows of anything out there big enough that they would let us use to where we could distance folks, that way especially the people in the higher affected areas, like the older folks that this thing could be a lot worse on or whatever, could maybe still come out and be able to distance everybody. If you know of anything like that we could use on an interim basis, that would be great. Some type of auditorium or something like that, because you know how big our group is, so we could potentially space people out in a big enough place, but obviously we can't pay an arm and a leg for anything like that. President's column, I don't have a lot this month additional. I just went ahead and left in the section explaining the video link for the meeting and that kind of thing, and the fact that we're still monitoring the 6.7 camera use is optional. And also right here I've got check out the information below about the Tennessee QSO party. I do have the ARRL contest calendar information for the coming month in the newsletter. You can click on this link and go view the whole calendar yourself, or each one of these you can click on and it'll take you to that particular contest and tell you the rules. There's also another good site right here, the WA7BNM calendar, that gives you a list of other contests. Sometimes we'll feature some of the non-ARRL contests that we participate in the newsletter. And this month we have the Tennessee QSO party. You can click up in here and it will take you to their website. I did put in a few of the rules. I wasn't going to inundate our newsletter with the whole thing and that kind of, so I just kind of hit the high roads here of the bands and so forth. And then just a reminder right here, just come back up here and see this website for any additional rules. But the contest period it starts at 1800 Zulu Sunday and September 6th and runs through Monday, September 7th. Of course, we're a day behind that, so that's actually would be a Saturday Sunday contest for us as opposed to Sunday Monday with the UTC time. So our Tennessee stations, in particular, if you want to get in there and work as a state contact, one of the objects is contacting all the counties, and of course we'd like to see our Virginia folks get in there as well. And as usual, I have in the newsletter here, if you'll send, if you'd like to be featured in the newsletter, I haven't got any of those lately, but any contests that we do, if you're a avid contester and you know who you are out there that posts pretty high scores or any participation whatsoever, if you'd like for your totals to be featured in the newsletter, basically I put your name, call sign, and your contest contact totals, score, whatever, in the newsletter. It's just kind of a thank you for doing that. Send them to the club email address and we'll get them in there. What I may try to do on this one is go on to the 3830 website and do a search and for everybody that submitted as a part of Bristol and see if I can get those plugged in there. I need to do that for field day too. I finally figured out how I can search and find that information easily. And there's a link right here if you want to order club jackets, club hats, polo shirts, that kind of thing with our club logo on it. This group has our club logo set and has some pretty good deals. We welcome anybody though that wants to make any kind of club apparel. Right now they're just the one that we have used in the past, but if anybody out there makes T-shirts in particular, we've got some interest in that, but I haven't got enough to do a minimal order with one local group. But maybe there's some folks out there that doesn't require a minimal order, wants to do some screen printing of some T-shirts or something. Let us know, and we'll put you in there too. And then the NetLogger download link is there. You can also click on each one of these and go to our social media pages or or pages that feature our content. And of course, we have the email link for if you're watching this video and you are not subscribed to the newsletter itself and you'd like to be, just send an email to this email right here, the barc.w4ud@gmail.com. And if you are receiving our newsletter and don't want to get it as an email, then you can unsubscribe right there. We do post it to the Facebook page, and we try to do this video format whenever possible. So there are also other means of getting the newsletter. And I try to, and I need to go in and catch that up just a little bit, but I also try to put all editions of the newsletter on the club website. There's a page that I have those on. If you have any past copies, and I'm talking about before, say 2019 in particular, and really like to go way back if I could, any past email copies, anything of the newsletter, if you could send those my way, and I want to go back as far as I can on those newsletters and put copies. Another thing, if you have any of the old paper ones and have the time to do so, if you could scan those and send a copy to me, and I can put those on the website as well in a PDF format. That would be really neat to have some of those. I really regret not saving those over the years. I wish I could go back and find a bunch of those. Or if you know somebody that's got a stockpile of those things that would be willing to let me take them and scan them and get them back to them, let me know. Get me in touch with that person. I'd love to go back, even years before a lot of us were in the club. If we could find some old newsletters, that would be really great to have on the website. I included in the email this month for the newsletter the Tennessee QSO Party flyer. Of course, you can go to the website and get all this information, but there's a registration form that you can click on a link to and get to that, and information on how to submit your logs in the exchange. So I threw that in there for a little FYI, and of course a link to the website and that sort of thing. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy this audio version of the newsletter. I did notice on the YouTube channel there are quite a few views of it, so I'm tickled with that. But as with anything, I do appreciate your feedback. Let me know, if you are really interested in keeping these type things going. Just let me know. I don't want to put out content or anything out there that nobody's really using or enjoying. So your feedback is definitely appreciated. You can, if you're watching this on YouTube, which is usually the only link that I put up for it, there's a comment box there. I welcome your comments, however short they may be. Just anything that you can let me know that, hey, I want to see this. I enjoy this. This is cool or whatever. Just let me know, and we'll keep it going if that's the case. But for now, I'll say 7-3 and sign off. This is N4NT.